I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place with my own two hands, make it a kinder place with my own two hands, with my own two hands. I can make peace on earth with my own two hands. I can clean up the earth with my own two hands. I can reach out to you with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. I'm gonna make it a brighter place with my own two hands. I'm gonna make it a safer place with my own two hands. I'm gonna help the human race with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. And I can hold you in my own two hands, and I can comfort you with my own two hands. But you got to use your own two hands, use your own two hands, use your own two hands, with our own two hands, with our own two hands, with my own two hands. Announcement time, it's announcement time. Good morning. How is everybody today? Hi, Wim. Wim's here. Yay! Hi, Terry. Hi. Good morning. The only two announcements that aren't in your program, class this Tuesday night, or class Wednesday night, which normally occurs Wednesday night, is being moved to Tuesday night so it can accommodate dress rehearsal for what? For the show this week? How to Succeed at Christmas Without Really Trying, which is Thursday and Friday night. Judy will speak to that in a moment. The other announcement is our Christmas tree up front for the Red Door Shelter. If you weren't here last week and didn't hear the explanation about it, the Red Door Shelter is a shelter here in Leslieville that we support annually. And up front, we have a Christmas tree in the front window. And there are tags on it. And if you grab a tag on your way out, it'll tell you what you can do if you want to play Santa. They're looking for toys, clothing, food, new and unwrapped, please. And we will be accepting any donation in that form up until December 14th. So grab a decoration on your way out, and we will make somebody's Christmas brighter. Yay! And I'm going to turn the mic over now to Judy Selden, who's going to speak a little bit about our gala.
Our gala, our annual fundraiser. It's going to be wonderful. Last year we were oversold. We were 110% sold out. This year we have two nights. Thursday night we're 50% sold out, and Friday night we're 60% sold out. So this is one last ask today or later this week. Get your tickets. If you haven't asked your friends, your family, please do so. We really would love to see this 100% sold out. It's a really important fundraiser, and it's a great show. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait for this. We thank you to all those volunteers who are coming in to help, and thank you for all the volunteers, all the people who have sponsored us financially. There's room for more. There's always room for more. I'm actually, the volunteers to help, I'm filled. That's great. Thank you. As far as the sponsorship, we could use a bit more if you're willing and able. Thank you. Let's make this our annual fundraising. Let's make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Keep your hands going. Keep them warm. We are going to call up Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
Good morning. How is everyone this morning? All right. That was pretty good. But let me ask you again and really get to the core of what you're really feeling in this moment. And it's okay if it's not in line with my enthusiasm. That's totally okay. But how are you feeling this morning?
Good.
Awesome. Here's the great news, is that even if you're not in line with the level of enthusiasm that I have, you can make the choice to embody a great feeling. And that is our choice in every single moment. So make that choice if that's working for you today. Let's start it off today with this great song. Woo! I'm got a lot of energy, don't I? Yes. That's going to be led by Tennis Burnett. We're going to start off with All the Good. And feel free to stand up and move your body if you like.
I cannot do all the good that the world needs. But the world needs all the good that I can do.
Try it again.
I cannot do all the good that the world needs. But the world needs all the good that I can do. We're going to take it up a little bit faster.
Switch it up. Here we go.
I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. Let's do that again. Cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do.
All right. So we come here on a Sunday morning to celebrate through music, to celebrate through spoken word, like I'm going to get up here and do like slam poetry or something. I could do that. Why the heck not? No, but we celebrate an idea. We celebrate the idea that there is only one power in this entire universe, and it is the universe. There's an energy that is creative and infinite, and we're all part of it. And because we are all part of it, we get to use it for our definite purpose. And our lives are unfolding because of this power and as a result of this power. And what choice are you going to make today? That's really the big question. What choice are you going to make today? Today, I'm going to make the choice to welcome everyone who is here. If you're joining us for the first time, it's a pleasure to have you here. And I want to say hello to everybody who is online as well, whether you're watching live or via the archive. It's wonderful to know that you're joining us here in community. Part of our community are the practitioners, and we have a wonderful core of practitioners, and we have a number of practitioner interns who are in the middle of their studies before they become fully licensed to, ultimately, to know truth and to sit with people and know truth on their behalf. That's what a licensed practitioner is trained to do. So our practitioner interns are quite the bunch, let me tell you. And they, you know what, here's the good news. They are quite the bunch. They give me a run for my money in class. That's good. They bring the hard questions that I have to answer. This is not Science of Mind 101 anymore. One of the people that, now when I say this, I don't want to have this sound like it's a bad thing, because I find the idea of challenge to be something that allows me to grow. This is somebody who challenges me on a daily basis. And I know that she brings her own wonderful brand of wisdom, and she's here to share it with you all today. Please welcome to the lectern, Carmen Noseworthy.
You challenge me as well, Jonathan. Excuse me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So this morning I want to say I put a prayer out there from within on Monday to allow myself to receive the help that I was requiring, to take a step out of the resistance that I've been feeling lately and that I've been experiencing. And so things have shown up all week and made me kind of wobbly. And so on Friday morning, I said, okay, what am I going to talk about on Sunday? And I opened my Don Miguel Ruiz, The Voice of Knowledge book. And I read, just because you hear a voice in your head, it doesn't mean it's speaking the truth. And this message really hit a home run for me this past week because it reminds me that there are many voices that go on in our head. You know, our wounded child, our personas that we take on to keep that child safe, the judger, the doubter, the complainer, the procrastinator, the victim, blah, 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 blah. This is the voice of those people. Who do you think you are? You'll never make it. Nobody understands you. What will they gonna think about you? You're not good enough. This is the liar. And we all have a liar in our heads. Yes, this guy tells us lies, and how many of them do we believe? Right? And we know that when other people tell us lies, no matter what it's about, that we just don't believe them. So the choice is, do you believe this guy? Because we tend to believe this guy without question. There's a law of energy called the law of polarity, which states that everything in existence has its opposite and cannot exist otherwise. Works very close with the law of relativity. So what that means is that wherever there is a lie, there is also truth. And so if there is a liar in our head, there is also a cheerleader in our heart. I'll pose for the picture. Oh. So this is the cheerleader in our heart. This is the voice of our heart, and it's much quieter. But it's always dancing with a cheer of yes. Give me a Y. Y. Give me an E. E. Give me an S. S. What do you got? Yes. No, you don't. You got a no. No, I want a yes. So the only solution to taming these lies is to stop believing them. And this is how you do it. You'll never do it. Yes, you will, my darling. You have everything you need. You'll never do it. Yes, I will, my darling. You have everything you need. You'll never do it. Yes, I have, my darling. You'll have everything you need. Ah! I'm dying! I'm dying! So, our cheerleader is always saying, go for it, I've got your back. And it's always a softer, quieter voice. So if the lies are making you feel depressed or down or stuck or whatever those icky feelings are, remember that there's always a cheerleader behind you, fully in love and present with a gift of joy and beauty and magnificence. So my affirmation today is, I give myself permission to listen to my cheerleader. And I invite you to say that with me twice. I give myself permission to listen to my cheerleader. I give myself permission to listen to my cheerleader. Namaste. Thank you.
You have been officially Instagrammed. That was brilliant. It was brilliant. Brilliant. And it goes so in line with what we're going to take in right now in song. That cheerleader is always there. And when we allow ourselves to be still, we can hear that cheerleader loud and clear, taking over the voice of that liar, suppressing the voice of the liar, and allowing only the good. And so, breathing into this, allowing ourselves to be open, and knowing this truth. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. That's the cheerleader. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. So I invite you to take this energy, allow yourselves to be quiet in this moment and be open to the words of Carmen Noseworthy as she leads us in spiritual mind treatment.
In this open heart space, in this presence of receptivity, which is all there is, which is God ever creating, the creative power back of all things, always open, always receiving, always giving. It is what each and every one of us is immersed in at all times. It is up to us to open our heart and to receive and to hear that voice of the cheerleader inside of us and to know what the lies are and to say, no, I listen to my cheerleader because that is the voice of God, that is the voice of Spirit that each and every one of us is. It is always present. It is always speaking. It is always leading and guiding us. It is in the presence of this quiet, of this stillness, of this open heart that we hear it, that we feel it. It is in this presence that we step into it, into our greatness, into the expressions of God that we are meant to be, and allow it to unfold with grace and ease. And anything that is unlike it, we allow that to fade away so that the only thing that we hear is the voice of God. And we continue to open up our hearts and to receive. And for this knowing and in this place of openness and heart receptivity, I am grateful. I am grateful for allowing this to be a part of my life. I am grateful for each and every person here who is with us right here, right now, opening and receiving and listening. For I know that this is the path of the Spirit within us, guiding us forward to magnificence. And so as I speak these words, I know that they are done. Because our word spoken is done. And it sets the law of cause and effect into motion, and it shows up in magnificent ways. This is what I allow to be so. This is what I know to be true. And I know it for each and every person here, for each and every person watching. This is what I let to be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Just breathe into that and allow yourselves to be open. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Just repeat that last line. Be still and know. Repeat it one more time. Be still and know.
Thank you, Carmen. When you have that liar in there, allow yourself the opportunity to send it packing. That's all I have to say. Pierre Gautreau is a brilliant songwriter, and he listens to his heart, and he brings that to the music that he writes and shares with his community. And this is a wonderful song that I absolutely adore. Please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
Sometimes it just sticks around. Even though it's nowhere to be found. We keep pulling the past into our present now. You'd think that we'd have learned by now. Pack it up and seal it tight. Send your baggage on a one-way flight. On a one-way flight. On a one-way flight. Out of your mind's sight. Here's the thing we have to know. Deal with it, then let it go. When the bags are too heavy, we can't take flight. Keep only what you need to make you soar with your inner light. There are no victims here, only volunteers who live everywhere but right now, right here. Pack it up and seal it tight. Send your baggage on a one-way flight. On a one-way flight. Don't look back, got straight ahead. Reliving the past to mess with your head. Stay in the moment and breathe real deep. Peace of mind is what you'll read. Oh yeah. Pack it up and seal it tight. Send your baggage on a one-way flight. On a one-way flight. On a one-way flight. Out of your mind's sight. Here's the thing we have to know. Deal with it, then let it go.
And one of my favorite lyrics ever. There are no victims, only volunteers. Think about that. There are no victims, only volunteers. So, we are in week 4 of a 4-week series. This is it, folks. This is it. If you don't know the science of mind by now, well, watch in the archives. We are covering we're covering the 4th section. Oh, it's so funny because the book is usually on this side. I'll put it there. We are covering the 4th section of the Introduction to the Science of Mind. The first 3 sections are the thing itself, the way it works, what it does. The 4th section is how to use it. And this is what everybody wants to know. Oh my gosh, I have all of this great knowledge. Now what do I do? How do I use it, right? How do I use it? The big question, how? How? We have spent 3 weeks working up to this premise. By thinking correctly and by conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us. By conscious thinking, we give conscious direction to it. That is Ernest Holmes. By thinking correctly and by a conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us. By conscious thinking, we give conscious direction to it. So here's the question. Have we refocused our minds? Have we taken charge of our minds? Are we no longer allowing the willy-nilly, unconscious thoughts to slip in and create our lives for us? Have we refocused our minds? Are we now thinking correctly? Because this is the entire philosophy. By thinking correctly and by conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us. Definite. Not, it might show up if I'm thinking maybe the right thoughts, I'm not sure. No, it is definite. The law is definite. So here's Here's another question. Have you eliminated in your mind a perceived gap? And it is a perceived gap. Have you eliminated in your mind the perceived gap between your experience and the divine? Because that's my entire global intention for my ministry. My entire mission in life is to facilitate the elimination of the perceived gap between the human and the divine for all people. That's what I'm here to do. It's what I've committed my life to doing. Yes, for a while it was to be a star on Broadway. That didn't serve me to the degree that this serves me. At all. At all. In removing the gap between the perception, between the perception that the divine is out there and ourselves, by removing that gap, we cannot help but do exactly as Ernest Holmes wrote and live with a refocused mind. Live with a refocused mind. So, what is the question? What the question is here now is, what gets in the way? What gets in the way? Is there anyone here who has never had anything get in the way? That's a rhetorical question. No. Is there anyone here who has never had anything get in the way? Think about that. What has gotten in the way of my good? What has gotten in the way of my good? Here's what you do to refocus that idea, to reclaim your birthright as the divine. You make a demand upon God, and God answers the call, period. You make the demand. We must demand our good. It is not about sitting idly by, saying all the right words. Oh, God is great, God is good, and all is well in my life, and then having your life fall apart around you. No, we must make a conscious demand upon the law of cause and effect, and it shows up according to our demand, according to the feeling. Remember? So this goes back to 2 weeks ago. Thought plus belief multiplied by feeling. What is the feeling that you have about your place in this world and in this experience? Because that is the multiplier in terms of the quality of your life. If you think that the feeling of your life is, it's okay, then you're going to have a life of, it's okay. If you think, gosh, my life is extraordinary and I can feel that to the root of my experience, the root of my bones, then you are going to have an experience that is extraordinary. Get in touch with the feeling. Because more and more, we're moving away from change your thinking, change your life, or even change your beliefs, change your life. Change your feeling, change your life. And now it is. Right now. Because there is no time but now. This is it, folks. This is it right now. And as life unfolds, it gets better and better and better. But the choice must be made now. This is not about going on the journey of trying to figure out all the things that went wrong in the first place so that you can now have some context around fixing them. No, this is about saying, what do I require? And then demanding that the law act upon it, period. Demand. I'm talking about, today is all about being demanding. And Carmen knows I'm very demanding. That was a joke.
That's a lie.
I refer to my rock in this moment, my heart-shaped rock that says love. And that's ultimately the answer that's in your heart. That's the cheerleader. Love is the cheerleader, right? Love that. So, what is it that gets in the way? Now, most of us can very easily, we can actually very easily see the roadblocks. We get, oh my gosh, there's doubt in there, right? We get, oh my gosh, there's fear. Huh. I mean, we can feel that, right? Figuring that out is actually very easy. A lot of us think it's very hard. It's not. Because what we're looking for is we're looking for the thing in the world of circumstances that created that feeling in the first place. Here's the thing that I'm going to now, I didn't even write this down. The thing to know is this. Regardless of what it is in the world of circumstance that took you to that place of fear or doubt, the fear and the doubt is there. You don't need to address the thing in the world of circumstance any longer. You address the thing in mind. You address the doubt or the fear that is in mind. When you address that, The circumstances take care of themselves. So stop looking for the thing and start looking for the thing itself. In my experience, a lot of people are looking for somebody else to remove the roadblock for them too. Right? Yeah, does anyone, again, rhetorical, does anyone have that experience? Oh my gosh, if I just went with this particular guru, or if I went and figured out, if for those people who are in this philosophy, if I just, pray to God hard enough. We're looking for something outside of ourselves, be it a person or a divine idea outside of the self that will never serve you. It will never serve you to look outside of the self. Ultimately, the roadblock must be removed by ourselves. The work is entirely 100% personal. Oh gosh, that's so depressing. Then why are we training practitioners to sit with people and help them? That's usually then the question. The practitioner's work is only as effective as your receptivity to it. That's the answer. If you are not receptive to the work of the practitioner, it doesn't matter if you see a practitioner and they speak all the truth in the world to you. If you are not receptive to it, it will do nothing. The work is entirely personal. Now, a practitioner can help lead you to that place of a deeper understanding of spiritual truth, but then once you have the understanding, it is up to you, the individual, to embody it in a personalized way. Now, the practitioner can also do spiritual mind treatment that encourages the embodiment of this from a feeling place, not just an intellectual place, but from a feeling place. That's what the work of spiritual mind treatment is meant to do when you're sitting with a practitioner, to get you to that place of feeling so that ultimately you have done the work yourself, facilitated with the help of somebody else. But ultimately, the work is yours. It is yours to do. Ha! Hello, Victor. When we remove the roadblocks, and that's what a practitioner can help you do, when we remove the roadblocks, life gets better, period. But we are the only ones who can remove them, ultimately. Ultimately. We remove the roadblocks by the acceptance of spiritual truth in our lives. By accepting the spiritual truth, all the roadblocks dissipate. And that's the great news, is that it's that easy. It is that easy. You remove the doubt and the fear by accepting the spiritual truth. Doubt, I do not require you in my experience anymore. Right? That's the fear. That is that monster. The spiritual truth is what lies in the heart. And it's love. It's always love. Ernest Holmes writes this: the practice of the science of mind calls for a positive understanding of the spirit of truth. A willingness to let this inner spirit guide us. We are so in line today. The practice of the science of mind calls for a positive understanding of the spirit of truth, a willingness to let this inner spirit guide us. But just like Carmen said, be aware of the liar in your head. Be aware of the liar in your head. And we know. We know. We know. You know how we know? Because we feel it. We know when that liar is lying to us because we feel it. There's something not quite right. There's something just off. There's something that does not feel supportive of the highest and best good for my life right here and right now. And if that's the place, go deeper. Sink into that heart space. Sink in. Breathe. And surrender. Be still and know that I am God. I am. The I am that we all are. Each and every one of us, the I am is this divine presence of love rooted in our heart. Sink deeper. That's allowing ourselves the willingness to let that inner spirit guide us. And ultimately, that's one application. It's the ultimate application, but it's one application. There are many different applications. There are infinite number of applications to embodying spirit ultimately. Apps are plentiful, just like spirit. Today I wanted to use my iPhone. It's funny because I did actually use my iPhone during service to post to Instagram. And I already got a like on it from a friend of mine from high school. Love it. So one of the things that I love about the iPhone and about smartphones in general is, 6 years ago, these things didn't even exist. Isn't that crazy? And yet now, there are seemingly infinite numbers of applications that you can download onto your iPhone or whatever smartphone you use. I happen to use an iPhone. You can find an app to do basically anything. And this is true of Spirit, too. There's an application to create anything in your life through Spirit. Now, I happen to have a phone here that has a couple of different apps. First of all, I have Instagram. It immediately connects an image, a picture, with every single one of my friends that I'm connected with in social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You're out there, Carmen. There's no turning back now.
Oh, I'm out there.
I have an application on my phone that is, it's called Audible. It reads books to me. I have an application on my phone called Waze. Waze, W-A-Z-E. And what Waze does is, if I'm driving, I love this, and I put in my destination, it doesn't tell me just how to get there. It tells me how to avoid the traffic on the way there. Amazing. And it's because it's tapping into the infinite resource. See, here's the thing. Waze taps into the infinite resource, the internet, checking out social media and checking out what people are posting and checking out police reports and checking out this and that and the other thing, all to figure out, where should you not go? Where should you not go? When we tap into the infinite resource, we are led down the perfect path every single time. I love Waze. I don't drive that much, but I love it. Because I don't drive that much, I have another application that is very useful to me called Rocket Man. Rocket Man gives me down to the second the time of arrival of streetcars and buses for whatever stop I want to check out. It's brilliant. I have a great app called Shazam. Have you heard of Shazam? Shazam's a great app. If you ever want to know what music is playing, say you're in a place and it's like, oh, I hear that song, and oh, what is that song? You hit Shazam, and it will tell you what music is playing. I have an application called Pocket Universe. It's a planetarium on my phone. And I can go out there, and it's got it's tied into the compass of the phone, and I can put my phone up, and I can see what I'm looking at, and so I know constellations and where the planets are and everything. It's amazing. Netflix, a library of movies and television shows I can watch, all on my phone, anywhere and anytime. I have Starbucks. I have the Starbucks app. Really important one for me. I can use it to pay for my coffee. It can show me where the nearest store is. Now I'm just waiting for the technology where it simply pours the coffee right into my cup out of the phone. These are just a few of the now hundreds of apps that I have on my phone. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of apps, all there with one purpose: to facilitate something in your life. Think about that. It is there to facilitate some need in your life, and it is infinitely available to you, just like the divine. The divine power is there anytime you need it. It is up to each and every one of us to download the app and take charge of it and use it. Oh, you can make telephone calls on this thing as well. Shocking, I know. Now here's the truth. Those apps are completely useless without me. They will do nothing for me without me. I make my demand upon Waze to show me the correct path, and it does so. I can't just sit here and go with my phone off and go, show me. Show me. But we're getting there. Siri, show me the best path, right? No. It is up to me to activate the process. It is up to me to activate the process. Audible will not read me a book unless I tell it what book to download and read to me. ways I have to impress upon it the destination so that it has the information to work with. Rocket Man, I have to ask the question, when is the next streetcar? When is the next streetcar? Starbucks, why won't you pour me coffee? The iPhone is a vehicle I can use, but I must initiate it or it does nothing. The same is true of all spiritual practice. All spiritual practice is a vehicle, but it will do nothing for any of us unless we initiate it and use it. And the time to utilize spiritual practice is right now. As I said earlier, there is no other time. This is it, folks. This is it. The time to initiate spiritual practice is right now. Right now. Ernest Holmes is very clear. He says, the time for the work of mind is now. Right now. I have experienced people who go in search of their good, and then they sit on their hands, not willing it to even begin. I won't call anyone out, but just check in with yourself, like I would. Just check in with yourself to determine if that is how you're approaching life. Are you approaching life from that point of view? I'm looking for my good, but I'm not going to do anything because isn't my good supposed to come to me? Isn't that what I've been taught? You have to initiate the process. You have to initiate the application of the principle to allow the good to come to you. It is not just going to show up. People then ask me, well, what is the point then of knowing this philosophy? If I'm God and I'm just allowing everything to show up in my life, isn't that all perfect? Well, yes, until your life is falling apart around your ears. Right now, right here, Ernest Holmes writes, right here, we must stop and declare that images of limitation have no power. So if something is showing up in your experience that you do not like, it is up to each and every one of us individually to stop. Stop. I see you, and I declare that you have no power. Period. If we are feeling in any way limited and powerless in any aspect of our lives, the time to shift that is right now. Right this moment. Because it's not going to come to you in the future unless you make the decision right in this present moment. Right now is the time. You getting it? Right now. There is no other time. The application of the science of mind does nothing unless we use it. That is the app. Using it. If I don't use it in my life, then life will continue, and it will either be sort of good, maybe not so good, but it will be only equal to that which I already have in mind, and I get to use this constructively and purposefully. If I don't, life is just going to keep going on. So why not be specific about what you require? Why not make the demand of this spirit, of the infinite spirit, and trust that it shows up for you from that heart place? Ernest Holmes writes, the one who wishes scientifically to work out his problems. Is there anyone here who would like to work out their problems? Again, rhetorical. The one who wishes scientifically to work out his problems must daily take the time to meditate and mentally treat the condition, no matter what the apparent contradictions may be. Because I guarantee you, if it's been in your mind and contradictions are showing up, you're going to see the contradictions until you have done the mental work to remove the contradictions. The time is now. The one who wishes to scientifically work out his problems must daily take the time. Not just, oh, maybe when I get around to it. No, daily. Take the time. Make it a practice. Daily take the time to meditate and mentally treat the condition. Daily. And do it no matter what. No matter what the apparent contradictions may be, no matter what you're feeling in that moment, you are in charge. You get to rethink your entire approach to your life and change the feeling space. You get to reach down into your heart and say, is this what I choose to feel? And if it's not, you say, cheerleader, love, come up for me. Beat down the fear. It is not required in my experience anymore, but this is a practice. And practice is perfect. The application of the science of mind is the process of convincing. It is the process of convincing ourselves. God doesn't need convincing, by the way. It is the process of convincing ourselves so that our minds align with the way we want our lives to flow constructively. The application is the process of convincing, and this is where we should spend 100% of our time. The daily practice of meditation and mental treatment, and I want to be very clear about mental treatment. Mental treatment is not just the formal prayer when you sit down and decide, now I'm going to do a mental treatment. I'm going to do an affirmative prayer in this moment. Of course that works. But let's start to really align ourselves with the idea that mental treatment is every thought and belief multiplied by feeling that comes up in our experience. And that's everything. 100%. The whole chimichanga. You know, the chimichanga is purported to have been created in Tucson, Arizona, where I grew up. Did you know that? And it was a mistake. I'm going to tell you what a chimichanga is. A chimichanga is a burrito that is deep fried. It's heaven. A deep fried burrito. Of course, I'm like, do you even know what a chimichanga is? You probably heard the word. Yeah, but nobody knew what a chimichanga was. Yeah, deep fried burrito, super yummy. Anyway, the application is the process of convincing. And this is where we should spend 100% of our time. Become aware of the thoughts. And as any thought that does not support your highest good shows up, narrow the gap. That is a thought that is not required any longer. Your divine birthright is spiritual truth. Replace it with the spiritual truth. The more you practice this, the narrower that gap becomes until all life is showing up perfectly and easily and gloriously, grounded in love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, and wisdom. Now, don't make yourselves crazy doing this. Ernest Holmes also writes this: we should work not with anxiety, but with expectancy. Not by coercion, but by conviction. And through compulsion, not through compulsion, but in a state of conscious recognition. We should work not with anxiety, but with expectancy. Not by coercion, but with conviction. Not through compulsion, but in a state of conscious recognition. We are the user. We are the user of the app. So let us put it to good work in our lives, each and every one of us. This is the conviction that I make today, to use it more effectively in everything from this point forward. So that wraps up the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And ultimately, the answer to how to use it is just use it. Namaste. I'm going to invite you to take whatever it is you have to offer the center today in terms of a financial contribution, and consider this idea, a reminder that your money is God in action. And it is the flow of money that keeps the flow of abundance circulating in our lives. And so as you give today, please know that the board of this center and I are stewards of these funds, and we utilize them in ways that are ultimately only intended to grow this center and this philosophy. I also want to remind you that this week, this is it, because I have to do the budget this week. This is the last day that we are, well, it's never the last day that we're collecting the forms for stewardship, but if you are interested in being a steward of this center for 2015, there are forms that can be filled out. I don't know if they were handed out with your programs today. Being a steward of the center means one thing. You are making a commitment that this center has your support financially so that we are always here when you need us. Always. We get to budget based on what you say you are giving to the center over the course of the year. And we take this budget very seriously. I will tell you at the last board meeting, Tony, what did you say about budgets? I budget well. So know that your money is in good hands, because I do budget well. We're basically right on target for this year, and very happily. But please consider becoming a steward of this center, because it only assures that this center maintains its effectiveness, and for that I am grateful to you. We're going to sing "I Love" while the baskets go around. I invite you to stand up and relax and dance and have fun.
I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love, I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love. What's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I love.
I'll invite Carmen to do a blessing over the offering.
Marks. Morning. Oh, let's stay in this open, receptive place of giving and receiving and trusting and knowing that it is the flow of life, and it is the flow of love, and it is the flow of beauty, it is the flow of God, this constant cycle of giving and receiving. And in this cycle of openness and heart-centered space of giving and receiving, I say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for creating this space of the center. Thank you for trusting the Board of Trustees with your gifts and donations of love and your money. And we take this and we receive it and we use it for the magnificence of this philosophy and the magnificence of each and every person here that we stand for. And it is in this gratitude I just simply say thank you. Thank you to God, thank you to Spirit, thank you to creativity, thank you to each and every person here. And in this gratitude, I just simply allow thank you and gratitude to be so. And I invite everyone here to say, and so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, first of all, I want to invite everyone, if you're online and you'd like to support this community, and we welcome your financial support, you can click the donate button. That's very helpful to us. The other thing that I thought about is if you have friends who are in the United States, what is he talking about? Or if you're watching us from the United States and you have an interest in having your friends join us for the New Thought Conference, the dollar right now is so bad that it's a really, really good deal for people in the United States. It's a really good deal for people in the United States. So I just want to invite everyone, if you're in the United States, take advantage right now because, who knows what's going to happen with the dollar. I don't know why that came to my mind. I guess because we're talking about money. The other thing is, if you are joining us on Friday night or Thursday night and Friday night, and who wouldn't, you are in for a real treat. That's all I'm saying. It is. It's going to knock your socks off. Literally, no. Well, you know, your socks, your stockings, you need something, right? I'm going to invite us all to take a breath. Relax right into this moment. Allow whatever it is you've heard today that resonates with you to be there. And remember that this is something you can use. This is the application. And it is up to each and every one of us right in this moment to demand our greatness, to demand the goodness of the divine to flow through everything we do, to demand that liar pack it up and take a hike. And we do this by allowing ourselves to go to that heart space and knowing only love and allowing only love. We do this in the surrender. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the fears, all the doubts, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the tears, all the blame, feelings of being outside. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Right here in this moment, I surrender to the infinite knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite resource for all creation. This is who and what we are. There is that and nothing else. There is us and nothing else. There is infinite presence and nothing else. There is love and nothing else. I align myself with this idea, knowing that I am a perfect individualized expression of this divine energy, and so are we all, each and every one of us, a perfect idea in this infinite mind, expressing at the level of it And so I allow more of it. I allow it to deepen into my heart. I allow Spirit to be the basis of everything I think, everything I say, everything I feel, everything I believe. It's all grounded and founded in the constructive use of this energy. I accept only this. I make my demand right here and right now for the good and only the good. And knowing this to be so, I allow it to be with a grateful heart. And in gratitude, I release it, allowing gratitude to fill my soul. I express my gratitude in this moment for everyone who made this experience possible today, for Fred, Judy, Dane, Helen, Jim, Margaret Ann, Carrie, Kimon, Tony, Fred, Carmen, Pierre, the band, everyone, every single person here, every single person watching online. We have all come together to make this experience possible in this moment. And for that, I am grateful. And so I allow it to unfold. I allow the good to unfold. I step back, I release, let go, and allow. And together we say, and so it is. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Surrender. Let it all go. Surrender the doubts and the fears. Let it go. And breathe. I'm grateful to every single one of you for being here. We're going to close out today lifting this energy back up so we can take it out into the street. We're going to sing Let Your Love Flow. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. See you next week.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky. There's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when the love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow. Let the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candlelight. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you deep in space and lay you under its love and embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face, you can't hold back. Come on now. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of trees, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing. Let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show.